Hey everybody, today what I want to do is go through and solve the system you see on your screen. I'm going to go through pretty quickly and we're going to make sure that we use the system or the method of elimination on this. So here is an example of how we can eliminate in order to solve a system. Okay, you take a peek, there is the system in front of you, and I need to make sure that I number my equations so we can talk about them properly. There's equation 1 and equation 2. I'm trying to decide now, what can I do between equation 1 and equation 2? What operation that will help me to eliminate a variable? And I take a look, and what I see is that both of my n variables have the same coefficient. Now, I understand one of them is positive, one of them is negative, but I notice that they both have a coefficient of 3. So that means that I can eliminate my n's by putting together my two equations. Now, the second part that I want to look at is the signs on them. And I notice that they're different signs. So if I have a positive 3 and a negative 3, and the way that I can put those together so that they cancel out is to add them. So if I add equation 1 to equation 2, I will now eliminate my n's. Quick side note, if they were both 3's or both negative 3's, that is, if they were the same sign, then the way that I can put two things together that are exactly the same and have them cancel out would be to subtract them. So that's really my two options that I want to focus in on when I try to solve the system. Given what you see in blue, because they are opposite signs, then I know that if I took equation 1 and I added it to equation 2, I will eliminate my variables, my n in particular. So I'm just going to put down that line to help divide some stuff for us. I'm going to take equation 1 and add it to equation 2. That means I have a 5m plus a 4m is a 9m. I now notice that my positive 3n plus my negative 3n cancel out. Beautiful, that's what I wanted. I have my 19 plus my 8, there's my 27. And look at what I just built in green. That is an equation with one variable, and in fact, it's a pretty straightforward one. For me to now solve for m, I have to divide out my 9, and there's my 3. Okay, now I can take that m value of 3, and I can sub it back in to one of my original equations. I'll pick equation 2 just because the numbers are smaller, easier to work with. So when I sub that back in, I'm now going to have a 4 times a 3, so there's my 12, minus my 3n is going to equal 8. That means my negative 3n is going to equal negative 4, and so my n equals 4/3. Only thing left to do, make sure that I state that as a point of intersection, that is in alphabetical order. So my m value was 3, my n value was 4/3, and I am good. Okay, I'm hoping that that helps you out. There is a very straightforward way to solve using elimination. If you're finding yourself working through a system where you don't have what we had in equation 1 and 2, where one of the variables had the same coefficient, then hop on and take a look for another video. I'll solve a system where those are different. Okay, I'm hoping this solution helps you out. Best of luck with your practice.